Hello, YouTube family. I'm back, and I just want to talk today about things that no longer serve us and what should we do to get rid of these things. Well, for one, we have to realize that they serve no purpose in our life anymore. But knowing that they serve no purpose in our life, it's like it's hard to get rid of something that you've clung to or you held on to for so many years. And you take it into whatever relationships that you have, not realizing that these are things that may not serve you at this particular moment. So, knowing that I may have been abused as a young adult, that's one thing that I'm holding on to. And then, two, the way I was treated as a child, I'm holding on to that as well. So now I have this suitcase, and I'm making sure that everywhere I go, I have these things with me. Because now, this is part of my life. This is who I am. Which is really not. But it's hard for me to let go of these things. So now I get together with someone that I feel like I'm in love with, not knowing that they are bringing baggage with them as well. Now, we must realize that sometimes we get with people not knowing that they have the same type of baggage because they say that people get together that are similar or alike in some form or fashion. So we all put on our best when we first get together. And once we're together for a while, then things start to gradually change. And so you start noticing, well, you know, why do they act this way? Well, in fact, they have baggage as well. So we have to realize that we're in a toxic situation because we both have baggage. And there were things that happened in our childhood or as we started growing that we held on to. And what we have to understand is after the age of 7, we pretty much have sealed the deal as far as getting rid of some of the things that no longer serve us. But it can still happen. It's just going to take more of a process. And by now, it's been 30, 40, 50 years that you've held on to these same things that you took in different relationships that you were in. And you've wondered why things weren't working in your life. Well, you kept picking up the same exact people. Why? Because they mirrored you in some way. They had the same toxicity that you had. childhood issues, adult or junior issues, adult issues. And you don't realize it until maybe you get married to the person or something happens and there's an altercation, and then you realize, well, why are they acting out in this way? Well, because they were hurt, and this is the only way that they know how to communicate with you, by lashing out against you, because they themselves experience somebody lashing out against them. And so you say to yourself, well, I don't really deserve it. I haven't done anything wrong. But without realizing that we all have baggage that we need to get rid of. People, places, and things. Things that we hold dear to our hearts. And we don't understand why. Because we feel like it's a part of who we are. So we hold on to these things. And the person that we get with have the same things and they're holding on to as well. And so it's hard for us to communicate. It's hard for us to spend time together. It's hard for us to be out in public. It's just hard because we both have baggage that we didn't get rid of before coming together into this union or into this relationship. So now we're in this relationship. Maybe we've gotten married, or maybe we're engaged. And it's like, okay, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to take this. Because we can't get along. We can't go anywhere. We can't do anything. And we don't know how to communicate because of the things that took place in our life. In some cases, we can mend these things and fix them if we know exactly how to go about them. And a lot of us don't, because we're trying to figure out, well, when I was a child, why did people talk about me all the time? I was a very nice child. I didn't bother anybody, but people always picked on me. Well, now that I'm an adult, I have to realize the reason why is because they were hurt by someone else. So, knowing that they were hurt, they hurt me. So, I have to learn how to forgive this person, move on in my life, and realize it really wasn't me. It was something that took place in their life, that took place in someone else's life, the cause, that effect. So now that I realize that, I can't hold that person accountable because it really wasn't something that they meant to do. So I can take that out of my bag. It no longer serves the purpose. And so now I have abuse, sexual, mental, physical abuse that took place in my life. Okay, so why did that happen? I didn't deserve it. I didn't do anything wrong. I thought I was being good. I thought I was doing the right things. Well, it had nothing to do with me, really. Those things that were projected onto me had something to do with this person's past. And so, them not knowing, they did the same thing to me. Hurt people hurt people. People that's abusive abuse others. And these are things we just have to realize. So, in my relationship, I can take this out of my bag because it no longer serves the purpose now. I realize where it came from. It didn't have anything to do with me. So now I'm with a person. And we kind of mirror each other because as we got together, we spoke about some things that were in our childhood. And as we grew up, that we kind of mirrored each other and some of the toxicities that happened in our life. And so I hold on to this person not because I truly love them or I'm in love with them, is because they mirror back to me those things that took place in my own life. So now we must learn how to come together and figure out what these things are and try to let go of them so we can repair our relationship from where we are and continue to move on, if that is what we truly want to do. So, he was not shown love. Okay, so that wasn't my fault either. I had nothing to do with the person that did not show him love. So as we continue to be together, we understand that it had nothing to do with you per se. It has something to do with the person that you were with. May have been a parent, may have been a prior relationship that you may have had. But you have to understand, when you're seeking and you're searching for truth in your life, you have to realize that some of us don't even know that they were hurt. So now I realize that they hurt me because they were hurting. So I can't hold them accountable for that. So I must find it within my heart to be able to let go, and understanding that that same pattern or things took place in their life. So as I put these things together in my mind, I can better understand what truly happened. So when we're in a toxic relationship with someone that's mirroring back to us the same toxicities, if we're willing to be together, we must first understand that we're mirroring each other for one, and we're both toxic for two. And to understand that we're codependent on each other because of the toxicities that took place in our life. Are we willing to let go of these things now? Because they no longer serve us. These are not things that we are. These are things that we picked up along the way and not realizing we picked them up. So now we're learning how to let go of things that no longer serve us. And it's a process. It takes time. You have to be willing to go deep within the mind and deep within your soul and soul search and come to find out where these things originated from, why, who they were, and go back and figure out, well, I have to let go of these things because everything that took place in my life, it wasn't personal. These things happen to individuals and they don't understand why it happened to them. But in order to break patterns and not let them keep you hostage, you have to go within and pull these things up and realize that you are not to blame. And since you are not to blame, they are no longer a part of who you are, because they really never were, but we held on to them. And this is why we keep getting into a relationship or a friendship that is so similar to the things that we had in our bag. So once we realize these things, we can change the pattern. But until then, we're going to be codependent on these people for years and years and years until we realize that we've had enough, and now we need to go within to figure out how to let go. And once we let go of these things and truly let go, the next relationship that we find ourselves in will be whole. How can I be all that I desire to be with the person I want to be with if I'm bringing my suitcase or my bag full of toxic things that I thought was part of me and they never were? So we learn how to heal ourselves once we understand what we're dealing with. And sometimes it takes a long time to realize that. But if you truly want to be the best that you can be, and you realize that you're holding on people, places, or things that no longer serve you, and you let go of those things one step at a time, then you're truly open to love. You're truly open to receive love. And you're truly open to have a pure relationship. And you won't keep repeating the situation over and over again. So in knowing that, I hope that those people that are out there that are broken don't continue to break somebody else. If you're hurt, don't continue to hurt someone else. If you're sexually abused, don't continue to sexually abuse someone else. Go within the deeper corners of your mind. And if that means you have to isolate yourself for months or years to be able to deal with these situations, then you do just that. You want to be a loving person. You want to receive love. You want to give love. You want to be able to get along in relationships and not have to walk away because of the toxicity that you find yourself in. So, if you really want help, go within to get the help that you need, or find the help through other people that you trust that are on the outside looking in, and they can probably help you with the situation as well. But be careful who you confide in, because everybody don't have your best interests at heart. So, in knowing those things, I hope that what I've said to you today would help you on your journey and you figuring out those things in your bag. They no longer serve you. They're not who you are anyway. You're a beautiful person. You're a loving person. You're a kind person. You deserve all the best in this world that this life have to offer. So, I pray that you all have a wonderful night, and whoever is having problems or issues, that you go within and try to figure those things out. And as well, if you would like to comment on my YouTube page, send me a comment and we can discuss some other things. So, have a good day, and I'll see you again.